What I gotta turn on my do not disturb. We're turning that on. Let's see, do we have, nope, we don't have this. Oh, I gotta work on the echo. I think I'm gonna work on that, so let's do this. Okay, and sources, we're gonna remove this. Yes. And we're gonna remove this. And we're gonna remove this. Let's see if this works. Audio mixer. There we go. Maybe I'm okay. Let me see. We're going to remove this. Let's see if this works. I want to see if this works. Stop. Audio mixer. There we go. Maybe I'm okay. I think I'm okay. Let me see. I think I'm okay. Let's see if this works. It works. I want to see if this works. No echo. Sweet. Let me know if there's an echo. The actual YouTube thing that I posted yesterday, I synced up audio. It was sweet. I gotta get my teeth whitened again. I had a nice orthodontist appointment yesterday. Or not orthodontist, but oral surgeon. She's amazing, by the way. If anybody needs oral surgery in Atlanta, in the Atlanta area, oh my God, I've got the doctor for you. Her demeanor just calm and cool, collected, and holy fuck, we've got a downturn. You may have a chance to buy Bank of America under 30 again. Let's see. I wonder if I bring the podcast up if I'm recording on. Tell me if all of a sudden echo happens. Because I hear echo in my headset when I turn on GarageBand. But usually it doesn't come back. Let me see. Let's see. I wonder if I bring the podcast up if I'm recording on. Tell me if all of a sudden echo happens. No, I don't hear echo. I hear echo in my headset when I turn on GarageBand, but usually it doesn't come back. Let me see. I don't hear it. Let's see. I wonder if I bring the podcast. No, I don't hear echo. Sweet. Yeah, downgrade. Fitch. I think Fitch is the one that may downgrade them. Let me see something. I got to make sure that I have, okay, there we go. Daily stock pick there, 5-day trading strategies. I want to make sure that let's go back to Safari. ONON, by the way, is down almost 10%. This from 31. I mean, this is a period of, it's crazy. This is a period of 3%. So this is even worse. You're back at 31. You got up to 34. You're back at 31.63. It's going to bounce off that 200-day. Then you're going to get back to probably, let's see. We're going to bring this back to the last time the earnings sank. Wow, retail sales up 1%. Wow. Economy is just fucking flying. Let's see, where's the volume here? ONON. My guess is 30. I think you get back to 30. It's going to create a gap, and you'll get back to 34. Hey, Scott, no, I didn't have surgery. This was just a consultation. So it was basically me walking in, complimenting everybody in the dentist's office on their smile, and walking out. So I have an appointment next Monday for the surgery, but they could call me if there's a cancellation this week to get it, because I'm supposed to go back to work September 4th. But next week, I will not be doing the podcast, by the way. Great thing. Good morning, Sherry. Great thing to bring up. I will not be doing the podcast all next week. I'm taking a week off. And the reason I'm taking a full week off is they said minimum 3 days. And it might be a 2-week hiatus. We're going to have to see if I can actually communicate. But the newsletter will still be going on. I'll be doing the newsletter. It just may be that I'm kind of wacky in the newsletter, but I will absolutely. I'm looking at, the core portfolio. Bank of America up, down almost 2%. Cleveland Cliffs down almost 2%. Disney down almost 2%. Devon down 1.25%. Goldman Sachs 1.25%. Moderna down 1.33%. NVIDIA up 2.5%. You know what's been the play? I mean, yesterday I was shocked at this. NVDL. In fact, I'm going to put that in my notes. I'm going to put NVDL. What was NVDL up? Let's see. Yesterday. NVDL up. Oh, it already changed. Let's see. Let's go to. It was up. I don't want to see pre-market. I want to see yesterday's. Let's see. I think at 8:30 everything changes. So no, I don't want to become a subscriber. Well, let's just see. Closed yesterday at 87.10. Let's see, that's August 11th. This is 4 hours. August 14th. It opened at 77.67. What's 87.10 minus 77.67?
The answer is 943.
Oh. What's $9.43 divided by 77.67?
That would be approximately 12 cents.
12%, let's say. Morning, Nevin. Good morning. Roblox is down almost 2%. Uber down 1%. Uber's one. Remember, I want to get it back into Uber. It just hasn't had a cross up yet. But it's putting in that kind of capitulation. If we move this back to the previous earnings, let's see. We're going to go back here to where it was trading around $32. You can see there's a volume shelf building right there. Probably at 42 is the bottom where it's going to bounce. This low yesterday was at 42.95. It's trading at 44.85. We had a pretty good turnaround yesterday. And in pre-market, you're at 44.51. I think if it gets back down to 42, I may add to my position. And the PayPal CEO, by the way, the new CEO, is pretty impressive. Okay, let's go over to the scan. We're going to do some scans because I don't have a lot today. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yesterday's big move in the afternoon just caused a lot of movement, of which today you're seeing the pullback. So, but I got a bunch of brokerage holdings. Let's look at core investments. mRNA. Covered call ETFs. SPY. See, I don't know that these make sense to kind of buy on these like cross-ups and stuff, but SPY, I mean, look, you've gone from 50 down to 49.55. This is one that provides you, and I'm in on this. I got, $10,000 in this one? $5,000? I don't know which one. Do I have it in my Savvy Trader? No. I didn't because it wasn't a trade. It's 12% dividend yield. SPY I. 12.22% dividend yield. And it paid me out in for the last month, 2 months, I don't know which. But yeah, 1%. What's 1% of 10,000?
The answer is 1,000.
Yeah. I get $1,000 every month. I mean, it's a nice. What did I buy it at? Let me see. I will tell you right now what I bought it at. Let's look. Because I bought it the day that I covered it on the podcast. So I don't always tell everybody what I'm doing. Let's see, SPY I. We're going to scroll down. I bought it at, no, tax lots. I have to go into tax lots. $49.31. So not too far off from where it is now. But did I say 49? Hold on. 49.31. $49.31 2 months ago. Per month in dividends. Yield. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. We're going to look at that one. I don't think there's any news. No, there's nothing. I mean, it's basically just a covered call ETF. It's nice. Especially on days like today where it's not sinking like tremendously, 0.16%. Who cares? XYLD. This is another one. Do they give 12% or is it like 10? This is an S&P, 10.98. These will differ, by the way, depending on their performance. And there's not a hell of a lot of long-term, hey, this is how it performs, blah, blah, blah. But it's an interesting one. Covered calls, energy names to trade. By the way, if I get echo, your job is to go, what are you echoing? NXE and COP. COP with a cross-up. ConocoPhillips. I like this one. I liked it under 100, back here in July, where it got to 99.34. And I thought you should buy it at 99. But I listen, COP, let's see what the 11.32. Let's see what PXD is. Yeah, I'd buy PXD. I mean, it's a lower cost. But PXD has run, I think, a lot more than COP, but I could be wrong. Let's see. Let's go to Seeking Alpha, and let's compare the two on a chart. No, I don't want to join today. We're going to go PXD, and we're going to look at that. Oh, Pioneer Natural Resources, and then we're going to chart. And we're going to do select symbols, COP, and update chart. And let's compare. Year to date, PXD 11%, COP 5%. So COP may have more room to run. Let's look at 5-day. COP up 1%, PXD up just slightly. PXD over 1 month, 13% COP. So COP may be the better play. I mean, I know PXD. Listen, there was rumors that Exxon was going to buy PXD, and do not, discount those rumors. I mean, that's got to be still kind of out there. But PXD alone, I mean, listen, yeah, the NASDAQ is up. Let's just put the Qs in here. It's up a hell of a lot more, than any of these energy names. 40% year to date. But PXD, 11%. Are you upset at 11% just because you could have bought the Qs and it's up 40%? No, because that one's coming down. These two, I think, are coming up. So it's just about trying to look at those types of things. But I like COP. I like both of them. I mean, they're good companies. Good companies with good earnings. By the way, yesterday we got DRN. Today it's DRV. And DRV is up 2%. DRV is the real estate bear, if you didn't know. DRV and DRN. I don't know why it's DRV and DRN. Usually they go LS, long, short. But DRV is the bear. And ironically, it's funny because Warren Buffett yesterday, we got all the 13 Fs, and they announced that Warren Buffett put into home builders. He went and started his position in home builders. So NVIDIA was the killer yesterday. Let's see. Okay. There's levered ETFs. Let's look at anything low cost. Vanguard. Nothing in the Vanguard group. Spider sectors. Nothing in the sectors. Let's look at my own personal watch list. Yay. PayPal. Nintendo. Nintendo my dad owns. It's been a pretty good stock. PFF. PFF is this one I owned for years because they gave off such a high dividend. And I know somebody in particular that I think it was a 6%, 7% dividend. Dude had like $5 million in PFF and just lived off it. I mean, just, he didn't care if it went down because he lived off the dividends. SOL. Hold on one second. We're going to look. We're going to just make sure. We're just making sure everything's okay. Okay. Wah, 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 wah. Just had to make sure something was okay. Hershey, have we finally hit a bottom? NCLH. This is kind of interesting. NCLH. WD. Oh, I've got that one already. McDonald's. Lowe's. Pan W and Lyft. Morning, William. Wah, 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 wah. Mouth noises again. I am giving ASMR. ASMR fans tuning in are Home Depot. Home Depot beat, but they warned about the consumer. I should probably put that in. Home Depot beat, but they warned about the consumer weakening. Which is basically, I mean, you get that with a bank downgrade, you know, the banks being downgraded, and you get Tesla cutting their prices again because of potential demand shortage. I mean, it's just, you get the recipe for, oh boy, a pullback. CRM, oh, okay. I do have CRM in there. Microsoft, ooh, Intel. It's at 35. I still think it's going back to 30 at some point. Let's look at the NASDAQ. Oh, come on. NASDAQ. Wah, 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 wah. IDXX. EA. I mean, we can bring in EA. DXCM. This is this is Dexcom. I like this one. I mean, this one, it's under its 200-day. If you want to go do a pop, I mean, this is diabetes drug or diabetes monitor system. That 125, 100% play that one. Because let's take a look at how that plays. I mean, just look. Back here, you hit 125. This was December 2022. You dipped down. You never got back above it. But when it gets down here, and then you get confirmation, you can play it. Sell at that 125 level. You got over it here, finally. You're back under it. So right after earnings, you're just back under it. And is it going to come back here? I mean, that 50-day has been playing with the 200-day. If we go to a long term here, and you just look at how that 50-day crossed up on the 200-day, and then the 200-day started. Then it was trading for $86 back here in 2022, September of last year, $86. And you've just continued to go up, have gapped up on some of these strong earnings. Then you have this 17 cents earning, which drop it down to the 200-day. You drop below the 200-day when it's 34 cents. Look, I mean, you're trading right here. It's going to pull back to 106 where it was. So Dexcom, I like that one. I don't even know IDXX. I saw it pop up on here. Okay, and T-Dog, let me kind of outline this. And I saw another very famous trader post this yesterday. And the suggestion was trade in what you know. So, for instance, I tell you guys all the time, I'm a tech trader. I built my fortune in tech, not from a company standpoint, but from an investment standpoint. That's where the majority of my money has come from, is tech. The grade 8. That's what's gotten me here. Now, am I a genius investor for going into that? No. It's just I know it, and I know that, people use these products. And again, Apple is a great example. Do you think, back in 2004, 2005 when I bought Apple and the iPhone was just starting, was it genius to get into it? No, it was, hey, look at the iPhone. It's like 80% of handset sales are iPhone here in this country. Oh, they're building an ecosystem? Macs can work with the phone? They have their own software? Oh, they're not licensing it out. Oh, you don't need to buy antivirus for the Mac. It's not true anymore, but yeah, I mean, IDXX Laboratories, I know nothing about. I would say this pullback on the earnings, just look at the earnings, 205, 255, 267, good. Look at that MACD. It's kind of sitting down there. You're down here at 39. Looks like you might have confirmation. Let's see what they're, but PE is 53. It's expensive. One suggestion I got from a listener was, when I talk about market cap, this one's $42 billion. Put it in perspective as far as, is this one a big one? Well, this is a NASDAQ 100 company, so it is rather large. It's in the S&P 500, and it's in the NASDAQ 100. So $42 billion is large. When you see millions, that's not a big company. When you see probably less than 4 or 5 billion, maybe a mid cap, something of that sort. But and when I talk about do what you know, it's the mega cap tech companies that I'm good at. And that's where I kind of, think again that's my thing. Now, this target price is 575. Most recently, 2 downgrades, Atlantic, but overweight to neutral with a 610 price target. July, buy to hold with a $415 price target. That $415 is significantly below where we are today. Look at those. Motley Fool, 3 top healthcare stocks to buy for August. August is just a bad month for stocks. I mean, it just really is. It's not a good month. So, Decom, Fortinet. Fortinet is one. This is one we should be buying hand over fist. I mean, just, God. Yeah, listen, Scott, do not question my douchiness. But look at here, this is a great example. Look at this gap up in earnings back here from February. Gap up in earnings, you earned 44 cents. You earned 34 cents on this one, and it ticked up probably with Fortinet kind of, predicting something good. Then they talked about weakness in the in the sector here and limited spending. This is what may hurt Palo Alto, by the way, because their earnings are coming up this week. Palo Alto networks might get killed like this. I don't see it happening. Palo Alto is the largest one of the cybersecurity firms, but Fortinet's making money. And I think this one's going to fill this gap this year up to 75. But I don't know enough about their earnings. I didn't look into it. Let's see. Fortinet. Let's see what the monkeys say. Now, this is a $47 billion company. Same thing as IDXX. They're in the S&P 500. They're in the NASDAQ 100. Target price is 74. Let's see. Upgrade. Look, reiterated. But they brought it down from 88 to 72. Reiterated. They brought it down from 81 to 68. Reiterated. 84 to 80. Reiterated. Raymond James, 75 to 70. Robert Baird outperformed, reiterated, 93 to 84. They brought their price targets down. The average price target is still 74.45. If you think that a company that's making money, they're making $1 billion, okay? Let's go to Palo Alto Networks. They are one that I own. Their income, I mean, they're not making money. Let's be honest, $250 million with a market cap of $65 billion. They're not making money. They could easily lose money. You've pulled back from, it looks like about 255, 258 is the high. You've pulled back to 219, so you're 15% off. Your average target price is still 251. Look at the May, reiterated, and it's all upper 200s, low to mid 200s, I should say. Bearish bets, 3 stocks you should think about shorting this week, TheStreet.com. Let's see what they say about Palo Alto Networks in here. When was this article published? This was August 13th. So this was this week. Let's see what these fuckers say. Shorting this week. Palo Alto recently was downgraded to hold with a C+ rating by the Street's Quant rating. Oh, interesting. Company has been a fan favorite for quite some time, and understandably so, as Palo Alto Networks has a track record of delivering solid earnings and strong returns. Stock recently come under assault with heavy selling pressure, and now it seems lower price targets are in sight. Stock folded last week following the reduced revenue guidance from competitor Fortinet, with Palo Alto moving toward the 100-day average pictured. This may not be the end of the down move, though, as the 200-day moving average at 190 seems to be begging for a test. Is it 190? Let's see. Did it move up that quickly? 200 days at 215 on the 4-hour, but if we go to the daily, let's see. Sometimes these moving averages are, moving average is at 190. Ooh. Danger, Will Robinson. Morning, Brittany, bitch. Let's see, August 18th. So, yeah, I mean, this could get killed if I'm still not selling. Where do I have my Palo Alto? Let me see. Is my Palo Alto Networks in let's see, where's my Palo Alto Networks at? I want to see if it's in brokerage, or if you're a paid member, you know exactly what I'm looking at, whether it's in brokerage or retirement account, because Pan W. Let's see. Boom. I have quite a large lot of this too. It is in my IRA. Total gain, 42%. And yes, it's mid 5 figures. Wow. Did SMMT pop? Mother effer. You guys are great, man. I love when you guys buy these YOLO stocks. Let's look at SMMT. I'm going to put that in the newsletter. I don't see it popping. Let me see. I see it at $1.98. Oh, but yesterday, it did. Yesterday's afternoon candle alone was 15%. Opened at 173, closed at 198. Wow. High was $2.04. Let's see how Mattel's doing. You guys have me freaking wondering now. Jerry, I remember you bought this around, I think, 20. When the Barbie movie, right before the earnings. And the earnings didn't disappoint. I mean, you went from losing 24 cents to making 10 cents. Let's look at a weekly. Mattel's not doing bad. If that 50-day could turn around by holding above it for a little while, the 200-day is moving positive. I mean, down here at 15, under the 200-day on a weekly, get at it. Comcast at 46. Strong earnings. Pan W. Look at this. We had a cross up on Pan W. PayPal. Way to cross up. Oh, I have that one up there already. Zscaler. I mean, everything's moving in conjunction with everything else, but the fuck's Jim Cramer wearing a fucking hat for? Let's see IONQ. Let me just do the S&P, because we got. I mean, there's a lot of cross-ups from yesterday. This is part of, like, you know, a big afternoon rally as you get these cross-ups. Oracle, podcast favorite. It has come back down. Brandon almost has me sold on IONQ, by the way, Sherry. Almost has me sold. I got to tell you, that article about the Amazon executive that they poached, that almost sold me. I'm close. I'm close to. I will not put 5 figures into IONQ, but Brandon, I will put probably 4 figures into IONQ. And the reason I say that here, we'll get out of here because I think, do I care about NextEra Energy? I don't think so. I mean, this is just a falling knife. There's something wrong with this S&P 500 company. IONQW are the warrants, and I don't think that you want to buy the warrants. I don't 100% know because there's some. I've owned warrants in the past where something split out, and if, like for instance, I think it was J&J split out some type of thing, and you get both the stock of the split out company and the warrants. NEE. See. It's got an $80 price target. It's at $58. It's a utility, though. My name isn't Walter. I don't have a blanket wrapped around me. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Okay, we're going into the strategy tester, and I'm going to show you a shocking return because we can go into IONQ. And I got to start my podcast too at some point in time. IONQ, it doesn't, the 4-hour algorithm does not have you in, but my algorithm makes you 498% over 2 years on this one versus making only 49% over 2 years on this one. Now, if we go to the 65-minute algorithm, which is simple 8-day EMA, you make 107% versus 215. Now, you're not in on either one because the algorithm got you out. And you can see on the 8-day EMA, on the 65-minute, that 200-day, you're under that 200-day. The only other time you've been under that 200-day on a 65-minute algorithm, we got to go back, was here at $5.47. What happened when you went under that 200-day? You flew up to 10. You doubled your money. Do I think that this one's going from 15 to 30? Let's take a look at the long. Back here, you went all the way to 28. So now IONQ, this is even more risky than like SMMT because you just don't know. They're losing $71 million. I talked about knowing how big a company is. They're $2 billion. This is a tiny, tiny company. They're losing $71 million. They have a market cap of $2 billion. They have cash on hand of $2.14 per share. They have 200 million shares outstanding. That means, as of their last earnings, they had $400 million. If they're losing $71 million, they probably only have a couple of years of actual runway before they have to dilute. And remember, they won't dilute when they go to zero. They'll dilute when their stock is high. So you see this, the danger is that down here, they weren't going to dilute at $5. They're going to dilute up here at 20. And they're going to say, you know what? We're going to issue another 100 million shares. We're going to raise $200 million. And then we've got enough cash on hand to make it for another 4 or 5 years. August 11th, Craig Halium buy, $21 price target. April 26th, equal weight, $7 price target. So those are the only two from this year, and they're probably the only two that matters. The average target price is $17. You're buying at $14.88. It is a gamble, to say the least. You can see the sale up here at 10. They're selling, for a chief scientist to sell $2 million worth. I mean, that's a pretty big indication of where they think it's going. Now, here's the thing. It was all on May 25th and June 1st. So 1052 was where they sold. They're probably not happy that they sold at 1052, knowing that it went up to 16. Yeah. Engages in development of general purpose quantum computing systems in the United States. It sells access to quantum computers of various qubit capacities. The company makes access to its quantum computers through cloud platforms such as Amazon Web Services, Amazon Bracket, Microsoft's Azure, Google Cloud's Marketplace, as well as through its cloud service. It provides consulting services related to co-developing algorithms on quantum computing systems. The company was founded in 2015, headquartered in College Park, Maryland. You've almost got me sold, Brandon. You've almost got me sold. By the way, if you're new here, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe. And I am going to get back into my own hip pocket. So here's IONQ on the full. Let's look at the SPY on the 4 hour. Did we get back into SPY yesterday? Nope. We did not. But you're about to have that cross up. Now today, I want to say I think the Bears will be back. I mean, the Bulls will be back. So, Savvy Trader. I need to go into my email. Hold on one second. I'm going to move you over to Active Trader. That was the trade yesterday, by the way. And look, you're at $90 today. Oh. Savvy Trader sent me a cool email. And I'm trying to figure out how to get that into my email, the newsletter. But I really, really liked this. And I'll keep this up. Let me move you back over. And I'll explain this for the 20 of you that are in here. But Savvy Trader, if you're not following me on Savvy Trader, it's savvytrader.com, SAVVY. Here, let me put it in the... This is where you can follow me. And this is just, even if you don't follow me, sign up for Savvy Trader. I am not getting anything out of them. I'm not getting any craziness, but sign up for them. It is a fantastic platform. I have two portfolios. I have a core portfolio here, and I have a trading portfolio. The trading portfolio is just stocks that I decide, okay, I'm gonna buy and trade. Like Friday, I bought DraftKings at $28. It's $29.36 right now. I expected to get to 30, and I put in. So just to give you an idea. Essentially what I do like this, purchase 300 shares at $28.53. DraftKings is now 13% of the portfolio. I purchased 20 shares of NVIDIA at $4.68. I purchased 100 shares of Uber at $47. Purchased 15 shares under 300 of Meta. I bought Netflix at $4.35. I bought TQQQ. I sold TQQQ at $46.72 for a 17% gain. That's the kind of stuff you get at Savvy Trader. But they sent me an email yesterday about new tools. This is what blew my mind. So first off, every week they're hosting a space, and I love that they're hosting a space on X, formerly known as Twitter. This blew my mind. AI-generated earnings summaries. They basically, if you go in here and you go the analyze for the company, it will analyze the earnings for you and give you a summary. Unbelievable. Performance charts level up. I like their charting. I have to play with this because they have earnings. They have different things that they'll do. I like what they're doing with charting. New portfolio layout. They basically talk about how their performance is, going to chart there, how your history, blah, 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 the whole thing. August Savvy Trader contest. They have a contest. I'm not even close in the contest that they have because there's other people who get tons. Let's see. Can I see? Entered into the contest. The trading portfolios entered into the contest. Let me see. August. Let's see. I am not on the leaderboard as far as the performance goes. No way. I am having a horrible August. Let's see. Daily stock pick. I'm number 9. 15 new subscribers. So not too many. But I just signed up. Listen, getting you guys, ineligible, 80 new subscribers from Chris Patel, Swing Vesting, 80 new subscribers. Wolf ineligible, my portfolio. There's a lot of people who are ineligible. Yeah, they had a bad earnings. C Limited had bad earnings. I wasn't even going to go over it, but I love the Savvy Trader stuff. I'm going to go back up to the top. There we go. Because I am going to bring it up. Look at this, Majid. Majid E-Trade down 10%. Smack the DAC. A lot of these guys, by the way, Palantir, maybe we should buy more Palantir, but okay, I'm going to start the podcast now. Let's look at this. SPY. What's this? Alert triggered. Okay. I subscribe to a bunch of things. Okay. Hopefully I don't echo again. Good morning. It's Tuesday, August 15th. And your boy had a appointment yesterday for my wisdom teeth. It wasn't an appointment to have them out. It was just a consultation. I hope I explained that. It was just a consultation. I absolutely love this doctor. Oral surgeon. She is fantastic. Unbelievable. If you need somebody in the Atlanta area, oral surgeon, or if you need a dentist, my dentist is awesome too, Dr. Talibi. She's amazing. But it's just an appointment. I will be getting my wisdom teeth taken out Monday of next week. What does that mean? It means your boy's going to have ice on his head for at least 3 days. I will not be doing the podcast next week. I can tell you right now that I probably will not be doing any talking of any sort for next week. It's going to be a silent week, but I will still be doing the newsletter. So sign up for the newsletter here, dailystockpick.substack.com. It is free, 100%. The weekly ones, every day you get in your email box around noontime. You'll get what I bought, what I buy, just the update of the podcast. Maybe on your drive home, you listen to the podcast. So lunchtime, you get to read the newsletter. Then you get to hear my sparkling commentary afterwards. So the newsletter is just basically, I put some stuff in there. Like this was Webull. I love Webull. I put the links to the podcast in Spotify and on YouTube. And then I post the notes from the podcast that I use to do this with the articles, with all of the stuff. And then at the end, you see scans. These are stocks that are bullish in my algorithm, which is in TrendSpider. This is TrendSpider. So get the newsletter because next week I will not be doing this podcast. You won't see me on YouTube. You will not see me on Spotify. You won't hear me on Spotify, I should say. So get the newsletter. Make sure that you're there. I forgot to mention it yesterday, but my weekly stock pick, myweeklystock.substack.com. He has a newsletter as well. You get one chart on Saturday. You get an email. It's great. He sends you a market recap on Saturday. And then on Monday, he sends you one stock from the Dow. Remember, the Dow is only 30 stocks, but he sends you one stock that his algorithm says you will make money during this week based on this stock. So if you go to my week, oh no, I don't want that. I want my weeklystock.substack.com. Let's look at his performance. He tracks his performance. Year to date, 0%. Not doing great, but the Dow isn't doing great either. This is what shocked me. Last year, he made 13%. Do you know the S&P was down like 16 or 17% last year? Look at 2020, 86%. That's just buying on a Monday and selling on a Friday. So CAT, right now it's down 1%. CAT I do own. I own somewhere in this 260 neighborhood, which we didn't think it was going to go up, but their earnings were just stellar. Unbelievable. My weekly stock pick is CAT. One other place that I think you should follow me is Savvy Trader. SavvyTrader.com/daily stock pick. I've got two portfolios. I've got a trading portfolio and I've got the core portfolio. If you want to know what stocks, again, if you sign up for TrendSpider, I've got a core portfolio in there. What I did was just basically go to the core portfolio. It's an even weighted stock portfolio. It's 100 shares of the 36 stocks that I believe are the best to actually own in a portfolio. Now, I will tell you, there's a couple in here you may not agree with. You don't have to buy all 36. Moderna, for instance, I don't think that's a stock that you should own, but you should trade it. Taiwan Semi, under 100, $93. I like it. Shopify, under 60. I think you should buy it. I like it closer to 50. Uber at 44. I think this one may dip to 42, but I'm going to buy more. I bought some at 47. Roblox, we talked about, under 30. Cleveland Cliffs, this one popped 8% yesterday. It's giving some of that back today, but I like this one going to 20. Disney at $88. I can't imagine you 5 years from now when Disney is at 120, you not being, happy that you actually have Disney. It's just a good company. Costco at 561. It's a little bit stretched. I liked it under 500. UNH under 500, buy it. Over 500, you can absolutely sell it. Meta under 300, buy it. Anywhere between 300 and 310, I think you buy it. Apple at 179. 2 weeks ago at 196. Could you imagine buying Apple at 179? It's a great buy. Google, which is, or Nvidia. I mean, Nvidia went up to 437 yesterday. Good God. I mean, it's at 440 something this morning. So this is the core portfolio. Again, it's Savvy Trader. And what I want to point out too is Savvy Trader sent me an email yesterday. And I'm highlighting the email on YouTube. Right now you can see it says join Savvy Trader on Spaces. They host a daily, Tuesday and Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern. They host Spaces on X, hosted by Wolf Financial. I like it. I like it a lot. What I really like in Savvy Trader is their AI-generated earnings summary. You can go to a stock and basically pull it up, and it's AI. It's ChatGPT. It analyzes and gives you a summary of their earnings. Love it. Performance charts. They have great charts in there. What I'd like you to do is, as traders or investors, if you're tuning into this because you want to know something, you want to know how to trade, this is Paper Trading 101. You can start your own portfolio. Put some stocks in there. If you're unsure of yourself, put some stocks into a portfolio. And basically just, try and say, okay, well, what am I going to, how am I going to buy this? How am I going to do it? Put it into a portfolio. And then for 60 days, track your buys. If you're doing this every day for 60 days, it shouldn't be a problem to put it in there. It doesn't sync up to your brokerage account, but it does track. And that's what you want to do. So Savvy Trader is a great place to go. Home Depot, they beat on earnings. The problem is they warned about the consumer weakening, and that's what you're seeing in the markets right now with it down. Two things: you're seeing that Home Depot beat, but they warned about the consumer. It's up to about It's up 0.29% in pre-market. 330 to me is a bit high on this one. I don't know that I'd necessarily buy it. I think you buy Lowe's. But Home Depot's a little bit. The other thing is the banks all got, Fitch is warning we may have to downgrade banks, even the good ones like JP Morgan, Bank of America, Citi, all of those banks, Wells Fargo, may get downgraded, so they're getting hit hard. In my mind, I think the banks are a long-term play. I don't think it's a short-term play. I think it's a long-term play. I think you're fine buying. I own Bank of America, which is down almost 2% to $30.46. I think anything under $30, I think you absolutely buy it. I think it's going back to this gap between $29.61 and $29.98. You can see the MACD's just kind of pointing down. We got all the way up to 32, didn't get quite to 33. I like this one. I hold it. I hold a small position. I've been adding to it every time it dips under 30. You can see it's gotten over 30 a couple of times. I've been adding to it every time here. Another bank that I own, Goldman Sachs. I like this one. I bought it under 300 because of the book value. This one's getting hit hard in pre-market. It's down 1.25 to 333. Another one that I like as far as the banks go, I do own Wells Fargo. I think that's the other one that I own. I do own Morgan Stanley. I own Morgan Stanley as well. In fact, why is TrendSpider so slow? Hold on one second. I'm going to have to fill this time to talk a little bit. But Morgan Stanley is down, it looks like about 0.72 at 80, 88, 89. I think $90 is your swing on Morgan Stanley. I think anything under 90, I think you're fine. Sure, you could go back down to 82. I don't think you're going there. But you're playing with the 200-day at $86. I like that one. The other one that I own that I think is probably the best bet to continue going up. Oh, I do own Schwab's too, so I'll take a look at Schwab. Wells Fargo. And Wells Fargo, I just think that anything around $42 is a good buy. Anything under 40, you're just getting yourself a legendary price. I mean, it's a good bank. They're trying to heal. If we look at a long-term of Wells Fargo, I don't even think it's turned back towards its. Yeah, it's just gotten back over the 200-day. I mean, the 200-day is still moving negative. The 50-day, when it crossed up here, I mean, you were trading at $60 here in 2022. So Schwab is the other one that I own. We talk about DPST. I know that one's going to be down as well. Schwab has just gotten over its 200-day, and the 200-day has just started to move positive. I don't think you buy it here at 61. I think you wait for it in the 50 handle. My guess, we get down to 55 and we touch this 200-day. I just think their earnings were really good. They've been out of trouble, but I think you get back down to 55, and I think you can add more. Are you selling your current lot? Depends on you. If you want the tax hit, go ahead and do that. But DPST, we can look at. This is the triple levered regional bank. And it's down 5% today at $73. DPST, I've been telling everybody at 57. I mean, it just got you out with a 44% gain here. 44% gain. And that's from, June 29th to August 11th. 44% gain. It's great. Cleveland Cliffs, they made an offer to buy U.S. Steel, which is X. I want you to basically know about this one, and I will post it in the newsletter. So Cleveland Cliffs offered them $35 per share between cash and stock. Then yesterday, another company called Esmark offered $35 all cash to buy U.S. Steel. So U.S. Steel is basically sitting back and saying, hey, we could take one of these offers. We don't know. But $35 a share, when they were trading just literally on Friday at $22. So $35 a share is your cap. You're trading at $30.78, $30.80, but $35 is your cap. We talked about this with Activision Blizzard, where Activision Blizzard is being bought by Microsoft. Activision Blizzard, let's see. I always forget the damn name of this one. And boy, TrendSpider is slow. ATVI is the symbol. But Activision Blizzard is $95 per share where it's buying out. X is $35. I like X to be bought out at $35. I don't think that the administration will basically ban it because I do think it's a worldwide issue. I don't think it's just a U.S. issue. So if you watch CNBC, the CEO of Cleveland Cliffs, who's an absolute character, I mean, he goes after everybody, man. He's just an angry old dude who's yelling at everybody. But he was on there saying, yeah, we're fine. We think we can get this one, blah, 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 blah. So I think they're fine. Big news yesterday. Michael Burry put $2 billion of puts on SPY and QQQ. Just know that was in June. So we don't know the expiration of these puts. We don't know if this was buying protection against a portfolio. We don't know a lot about it. But the headline was Michael Burry, the man who did the big short, he shorted the market during the housing crisis and made billions of dollars when nobody believed him. He put $2 billion of shorts back in June. Now, where were we in June? Here, if he started somewhere around here on SPY, you're at 426. He's buying puts. I mean, he's shorting the market. Just understand, he's shorting the market here. He thought it was stretched. If he held on to this stuff, all he had to do was disclose that he bought it. Next quarter, he's going to have to disclose if he sold them or if he took a loss on them or what he did with them. But you don't know what he did. But if you're at 426 and you get up here, any money manager would get out of that position with that run. So just understand, I think he probably lost a lot of money. So if you want to listen to a douche on the internet or some billionaire who's probably, if Michael Burry did take out that much, well, I shouldn't say that. He did take out that much, but he may have had a very large position in the market to be able to use that as insurance. So there was no other detail. Einhorn Capital, they what caught my eye with Einhorn Capital, they think inflation is embedded in the U.S. economy and it's going to stay. And if it stays at the current levels, remember, the Fed will need to raise more and faster, which they say will kill the bull market. That's essentially what they're saying. So Tesla, we talked about Tesla all the time. I think Tesla is currently in a kind of downward spiral. It's making a little bit of a comeback. The market's kind of coming back right now. I think you're going to see another day like yesterday where the market just comes back in the afternoon. But this one's at 239. This gap right here to 235, it kind of hit it on, it looks like yesterday in the morning candle. It got down to 233. So we've covered that gap. I don't want to say that we're going back up. The 200-day here does look like a support level at 220. If you buy at 239, I don't think long-term you're going to be hurt. Short-term, you could get back down here to the 180s or so. Understand that they lowered their cost of the Model Y in China. Also, they are putting out 2 lower-priced X and S cars that have lower range but are $10,000 less. So just understand that. I will include a link to Dan Ushman. He put in a code indicator, a new indicator for TrendSpider that he wrote in JavaScript. He's calling it magic levels. I mean, let's be honest. If you go to Dan Ushman's Twitter, Dan Ushman, he is the CEO of TrendSpider. He's sitting there smoking, basically he smokes pot every day. I mean, I love the guy. Look at his profile picture. But he's calling it magic levels, and it provides these levels right here. It's in JavaScript. You can import this right here. I will include the link in your in the newsletter. So sign up for the newsletter. I'll include the link. It puts some really good colorful levels on there. And he's been basically honing it in. So if you subscribe to it, you can import it and it will update. I forgot to mention yesterday, ONON. They reported today. I posted this. Look at this 11% right there. Look at what happened during the last earnings. You basically pulled back to the 200-day. Understand this is a chart from yesterday. We will look at the live one. But understand this one got down here to about $24, $25. It shot up and got you out here with 3%, got you right back in, got you out with 11% gain yesterday. So what did ONON, I don't know how you say it, but ONON, What did they do with earnings? Well, they pulled back again, and they pulled back to the 200-day immediately on this one. So I want you to see this because it's going to create a gap. Right now, they opened up at $30.50. Right now, it's kind of a red candle. It's just floating around that $30.50, $30.44. I don't want you to buy because you can see there were a couple of times. This one, they reported on May 15th. The algorithm didn't get you in until, 11 days later? I want you to wait. Now, if you get above and close above this 200-day today, then I think we should buy this one. I like this one. It is stretched as far as the value of this one. But it's a clothing company with sneakers that is run by Roger Federer, Serena Williams, and I think it's a height play, but I think you get to 35. I think you get to 35. If you can buy this at 30, I think you get to 35. Now, mind you, it's a newer company, so on the weekly, we don't have a lot of moving averages here. You have a 50-day moving positive. You have a 9-day that's moving positive. You've just lost the confirmation on the weekly. So I want you to wait a little bit because look at that MACD. It is up at, it's super, super high at about 2.65. The RSI is at 51. I want this to get a little bit oversold, but I do like it. Yesterday's big play was NVDL. This is NVIDIA. And remember how I told you, hey, on pullbacks, you want to buy NVIDIA. NVDL is a 1.5 times levered positive for NVIDIA. And NVDL yesterday, I think it was up 12% yesterday. NVDL on the algorithm, let's look. Do we have a buy in the algorithm? Because I think NVIDIA, by the way, got you out on the algorithm. Yeah, this got you out up here with a 0.21. It doesn't get you back in, but it will today. This one is up 4% at $90. Yesterday, you could have had this under, at about 78. Today, you're at 90. NVIDIA is absolutely flying. It is up another 2% today at $449. Do I think you should buy it heading into earnings? Here's the thing. All the monkeys are saying there's no way NVIDIA can hold up the earnings comparison to last quarter where they blew it away with crazy, crazy numbers. But you're seeing this one turn. And I don't think 450 is a crazy price for NVIDIA 2 or 3 years from now. Last time, take a look at this. And this is what I want you to see. In January, we were trading at 147. And you had earnings. It went from 147 to 232. And they announced earnings. They were great. They were good. They were in line. Everything was good. 230. Over the next period, you jump all the way from 230 to 300. So you basically go from like 150 to 300. Then what do you do between this time and the next earnings? You basically run almost to 500, from 300 to almost to 500. The worst that you're going to do is go back down to 400 on this one. I think there's enough support level at that 200 day that if you get into the 300s with this, load up the Brinks truck. So 450, I don't think it's horrible. If we go over to FinViz and we look at NVIDIA, here the average price target is 501. So I think you can safely buy at these levels. I just don't know that you necessarily trade this. I think you start long positions in this one. I like it. I like it a lot. Roblox, by the way, is almost under 30 again. Let's talk about scans. We talked about the newsletter with scans. There's a lot to talk about in scans. First one, PayPal. Talked about it yesterday at the end of the podcast. New CEO. It is not enough to tell you absolutely 100% buy, but we got a buy signal at 63.28. You're trading at 62.28. I don't know that this is the turnaround. I have not added to this. I am holding. I am holding my buy. I think my buy is at, let's see. Let's look at Savvy Trader. What did I buy? Let's go to the trading portfolio where it is. And I bought PayPal at, I'm down 8.86%. Not worried. I think this is the $80 stock at some point this year. I'm going to add to my position. That is a very small position, by the way. I do hold significantly other sized positions. at about $70. I do think that this gap up here gets filled at some point. The new CEO is coming in September, so don't expect anything right now. Yesterday's rally on this one was just a pop because of the announcement. News kind of, flows out there. But I do like this one. The issue is the new CEO can't come in and all of a sudden wave his magic wand and change the margins. The margins are what's going to kill this one. So margins are extremely difficult. But what he can do is take the cash flow that this company has, and mind you, it is very good cash flow, and do acquisitions. They have some very good opportunities to do some acquisitions. They had just strengthened their partnership with Apple. I believe in this one. If you want to read about this, the stock nerd, Bradley Freeman, does a great job at analyzing this one. So I won't go into that one. We had a cross up on Microsoft. And I don't know if Microsoft has actually bottomed out in the 320 level, but we had a cross up here on Microsoft that gets you back into Microsoft after the pullback. It's bouncing off the 200-day. I mean, it's just definitely a 100% clear. It's bouncing off the 200-day. Boy, trends by slow. 324.03, you're trading at 323. Like I said, anything under 330 on this one, I think you're fine. Yes, it's extended. I just think that we're seeing a pullback. I think the next bull market, you'll be fine. And I think that's one that will go up. PanW right before earnings. We talked about Zscaler and some of the others. Actually, I don't know if I talked about that on the podcast, but I definitely talked about it on YouTube. PanW, I personally own this one. I like it here. The earnings are going to be difficult. Fortinet is the one that pulled down all of the cybersecurity stocks with their talk about weakness in the cybersecurity market. That's the one that's going to screw stuff up. If Penny starts barking, I will yell at her. But Palo Alto, I own 219.16 is the cross up. It's trading at 218. I think there is significant reason for it to come back down here to the 170s if they have an earnings issue. If they have an earnings issue. That's the caveat is, again, this is in my retirement account. I should have been watching it a little bit more closely and sold up here in the 240s. I am not selling it into this, but I will buy more if it dips down there. Cybersecurity is something that people just don't, we can look at Fortinet because I think they had a cross up as well. Did they have a cross up? Yes. And Fortinet we'll talk about because I will put this chart in the newsletter. I think it's going to backfill the gap. I think it's very clear to me that it will backfill this gap. It almost filled the gap down to 54, but the cross up here is at 59. Now, I think it fills this gap throughout the year to 75. I think it goes back there. Again, they announced weak earnings and they guided lower. But I have a feeling that just cybersecurity is not something that people will pull back on. And you can see clearly back under this 50-day, that's been the time to buy. That's been the time to buy. And you're not a good company with good earnings because remind you, Fortinet has very good earnings with good products and good management. It's going to go. I like that one. CrowdStrike in the same thing. CrowdStrike, this one is extremely expensive. I don't think that they're making money. We can look at it on FinViz, let's see. I don't think that they're making money. Let me just make sure that I am correct. Yeah, they are not making money. They're losing $151 million. They have a $36 billion market cap. $36 billion. You don't have to worry about this one going bankrupt. It's not going to zero. The target price is 178. That's the average. If you look at the most recent initiated KeyBank, their $200 price target in May, Rosenblatt said 170. It's trading at 152. So it's not crazy. It's trading actually at 150. It's down a little bit today. You can see it broke through that wedge, that rising wedge. It's got a clear double top up here at about 160, 170. I own this one. I bought a very large lot of it at I think about 160 or so. I think this was where I bought it. It went up here to almost 200, and I've been just kind of waiting for it. I've been adding every now and then while it's been going up, but not enough to reduce my price target. I think I'm probably close to even at about 150 or so. but I like this one as well. If I were to buy one of these, I'd probably buy Fortinet because A, earnings are already in. B, it's got that nice gap up there. C, Palo Alto does report. If they report good earnings, Fortinet, you can expect to go back up. And with Fortinet, is the weakness because people went over to Palo Alto? Who knows? I mean, that's what you have to kind of balance out. Earnings is always kind of a gamble that way. Amazon, this has a cross up. We talked about Amazon, anything under 140. I think you can buy. It's trading right now at 139.55. This one has a gap down here. It's got a secondary cross up. It's a little bit high. I mean, 140 for me, if you take a look at the weekly on this one, you're still not back to all-time highs. I mean, the all-time highs, like I said, I think this was the target. This was put in here when we were down here. I said this right here at the 200-day is the target. You can see 168. I mean, Amazon is a good company. CRM had a cross-up. mRNA had a cross-up. I want to talk about SPY-I. So SPY-I is one that I bought. I bought it at $49.31 2 months ago. Now, today, it's at $49.30. So I haven't made a freaking dime on this. But you know what I've actually made? 1% per month. I bought $10,000 of this. So I bought 10%, I get, well, no, it's $100. So I get 1%. So $10,000, I get 1%, which is $100. So I've made 2% on this just from basically sitting back and doing nothing in 2 months. I mean, that's really, really good. It's got a 12% dividend yield. SPY-I. I get a 12%. That's $100 per month. I need to change that. It's not $1,000. It's $100 per month. I thought I was getting $10,000 per month. But no, it's $100 per month. It's 1% because it yields 12%. I like it. XYLD, same kind of thing, except it's on the S&P 500. And it only puts off, I think, 8% or something. We had a cross up there. COP. I want to talk about COP had a cross up. And I want to talk about this one, and I've got a good one. I personally, I mean, this is ConocoPhillips. It's an energy company. It's oil and gas. They're similar, very similar to PXD. I like PXD personally, but PXD is run. And this is the chart that I was looking at on with the folks on YouTube. So I did COP. Okay, year-to-date, COP is up 5.31%. Pioneer is up 11%. The Qs are up 40%. So COP having a cross up here, it's a secondary cross up. I would have liked you to get it, under 100, and you're at 115 right now. I don't think it's crazy to think that 115 is a decent buy on this one. If you want to wait for 113, you can wait for 113. I just think energy is the way to play this. So we had a cross up yesterday of DRN, which is the 3 times levered bull on the real estate market. Ironically, we have a cross up on the DRV, which is the 3 times bear. So DRN, DRV, they're kind of crossing back and forth. I'd be a little bit careful of those because when it typically gives you stuff like this, we just don't know which way the market's going. So have some patience. Hershey has a cross up. HSY, I think Jesse turned me on to this one because he, months ago, maybe a year ago, he had mentioned that, hey, Hershey's a good buy, and Hershey took off. Hershey just took off. It is down at 224. You've been having some weakness in this one. If we go to a long term, because remember, Hershey isn't something that you typically would trade. Consumer cyclicals like this is nothing that you would typically trade. Long term, you can see it's just pulled back a little bit. I mean, that huge thing. My guess is you're going to get back to this 50-day, and you're going to come down to 185. I wouldn't buy it, but I wanted to bring that one up there. Now, some of the big winners this year are cruise lines. And Norwegian Cruise Line has a cross up here. NCLH. I like it. I like the cruise lines. I think anything under 20 on this one, I believe, is a decent buy. I think you'll get to 20 at some point in time this year. Just understand that these guys have enormous amounts of debt. We're talking huge amounts of debt. And I think they get back to 20. I just, look at that gap right there. I mean, that gap between 20 and 22, I think you fill it at some point in time this year. EA. EA is an interesting one. I do think that they may fill the gap. They're kind of considered one of those pandemic things. Video games were considered, hey, people are playing a ton during the pandemic, so we're going to pull them back. That was on the earnings. Now, with this turnaround, you can kind of see this gap here between 129 and 135. If you like video games, I don't think it's a bad play on this one. Madden is coming out. The hype train is there. I mean, I'm a guy, listen, during my when my teeth are pulled next week, I'll be playing Madden. I'll probably pay the $60 for the damn new, updated freaking roster. But I like it. And I like it, it's under the 200 day. So what more can you say? But if you like that stuff, go and get it. Dexcom. DXCM is Dexcom. This is a diabetes monitoring tool. If you have diabetes, if you know somebody with diabetes, it's that little thing that they stick in their shoulder, kind of their arm, and it monitors their blood sugar. I've said, see that yellow line right there? I've gone over this one a number of times. I said 125 is where you want to sell it. 125 is where you want to sell it. Not where you want to buy it. You want to sell it when it hits 125 or anywhere close, because many times it just hits at 25 and comes back down. You're under the 200 day. You're trading at 115. It's at 115.45. Buy more. If you want a nice little one that you can actually trade, if you want to buy it and hold it, the danger of this one is if Apple comes out and says, and this downturn right here that you saw during this time, this was when Apple filed for a patent to be able to monitor blood sugar without taking blood. And that's the danger that you have, is that one. We talked about Zscaler. We talked about Zscaler is another one with a cross up in the cybersecurity firm. But I'm going to finish it off with podcast favorite, Oracle. I've been talking about Oracle since it was in the 60s for at least a year now. And I said Oracle is one that you absolutely want to buy. The only other company that retires similar amount of stock. Apple basically buys back billions of dollars of stock and they retire the majority of it. So the way Apple has grown their share price and rewarded investors is by buying back a ton of shares and retiring them. So their market cap actually goes down, but the share price grows. So the market cap actually goes up, but the total number of shares in the market actually goes down. The only other company that's been doing that is Oracle. And they've been doing that since it was trading way back last year in the 60s. And I said in the 60s, you should actually buy it. I was a little bit skeptical in the 70s, even more skeptical in the 80s. I'm even more skeptical in the 90s. The problem is these guys have tons and tons of AI integration. So at 115, am I concerned? Probably not. The issue is that you have to understand this is a long-term buy. This may come back down under 100. Their next earnings may not blow it away. You can see $1.67 per share, $1.22. Look at that growth. And you can see how it exploded. The point here is if you get to that 50-day, load up the Brinks truck. But you're covering this gap. This gap that was created by the last earnings, you're covering it back. The gap goes down to 109. You're trading at 115, the gap goes back to 109. So if you think they're going to continue this earnings route, and I have no idea, no doubt in my mind that they will. I mean, it's a great company. Again, Oracle is the one that's taking Uber from premise-based servers to cloud-based servers. That's an enormous contract, and that's a year, a decade-long contract. So they've got the earnings to actually do it. Ask ChatGPT to summarize Oracle stock for you better than I can. If you have any questions, you can hit me up on the socials. That is on Linktree, linktr.ee/daily stock pick. All of the socials are here, private Facebook group, the Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all of that stuff. If you want to sign up for TrendSpider, the link right here gets you 25% off. I would suggest, if you listen to me, that you click on this third link. This is the nice and easy one. It's Webull. Put in anywhere between $3,000 and $3,000. Get the app. Start trading on Webull. Understand that this app is really, really good. I put $1,000 in there on the beginning of the year, and I am at $1,537. I'm sorry, it just updated. $1,525. I really like this app. The app is fantastic. I use it on Mondays to basically start my week off. I look at it usually in the morning, and they've got a really nice summary that kind of pulls up for you. I like their trading platform. I also like, here's the thing. You get free stocks. Put $3 in there. They'll give you free stocks. Get up to 12 free shares. I mean, it's simple. Just click on that link. Again, if you're going to click on something, I think that's the one to click on. If you want the newsletter, it's down here. You can find me on Spotify, YouTube. There's Savvy Traders if you want to do it. Again, the place to get all these links, linktr.ee/dailystockpick. If you have any questions. I will be back tomorrow again. Next week, I will not be back. Sign up for the newsletter. Love you guys. I will talk to you later. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. And Scott, yes, they keep getting fined for ripping off their customers. That was under the old CEO. It's still going on. The fines are still out there. But I don't think that they've had a recent fine. Wow, look at Cleveland Cliffs coming back 3%. Share, export song to disk. We're going to export that. Let's see. We are going to claim all. Man, Webull keeps giving me Snapchat. It's crazy. I'm down 1% on Webull. Warner Brothers is a good one. The problem you have with Warner Brothers, I think it's a good share price, but remember, they're not a company that's actually making money. They're losing money. All of these streamers, other than Netflix, are actually losing money. Warner Brothers gives, basically from the AT&T days, I get Warner Brothers for free with my AT&T home internet service. And I think they're going to start cleaning that up, but they were basically so focused on subscribers numbers, they were giving it away. The second they crack down on passwords, I question whether the value is there, because remember, a lot of marketing is kind of mind share. And if you haven't been paying for something and then all of a sudden they ask you to pay for it, that's the mindset where you question, oh my God, is it worth it? And I would question whether Netflix, no doubt. For me, it's worth it. Warner Brothers, I've had better stuff. Okay, I am going to airdrop myself these two files because I need to do it on my MacBook Pro. Let me see. Let's look at SE. How did SE wind up? Since you brought that up, Sherry. C Limited. Software company. I don't know exactly what they do, but I know. Man, they made 54 cents a share. Boy, and they're down 25%. Let's see. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go over to slowing e-commerce demand. Let's see. Let's go over to Savvy Trader. Let's look up SE. C Limited. And let's go to AI. I don't know. How do I do this? Let's see. New tools. Okay. So with Savvy, you can generate comprehensive summaries of entire earnings calls. These summaries are presented in a digestible format. Okay. It doesn't tell me where to go. So let's see. Let's go to C Limited. And let's see if we can find latest news, earnings. I guess it's behind the. Oh, generates a sentiment analysis. Another investor. Oh, huh. Bullish stance. Oh. Gert purchased at 655 on July 31st. I do, Scott. Ethical stuff. I mean, overall, you could probably point to like Oracle, Palantir. I own. Apple probably does some stuff with wars. Google. You can't take. With my thing is you can take some stances. You can't take a full hard stance. I mean, if for instance, somebody were to tell me that, like JP Morgan is a good example. Do I don't particularly like to buy their stock. I don't particularly like to do business. I think Jamie Dimon knew 100% about Jeffrey Epstein. So I try and avoid it, but shit. I get wires from TrendSpider as their partner from JP Morgan. So JP Morgan is their bank. JP Morgan has their hands in everything. So I don't like to pass off that, hey, you should avoid war stocks just because war is bad. Just a personal thing. Like, am I going to invest in Lockheed Martin? I mean, for me, they make warships. Boeing makes, planes and stuff and guidance systems that definitely are war machines. But I own Boeing. They do planes. So you can find a bunch of stuff, but I do just ethically, I just can't see myself buying into like a war stock. But I do own Palantir. So let's see. Digital entertainment decreased quarterly e-commerce to price action by 16%. I mean, this is just continuing to fall. Let's see. Let me drag you over to, let's look at this stock. I mean, this is starting to come down now. At least Nvidia is starting to, trade with the rest of them. Let's look at C Limited. It is now down 26%. Whew. Wow. Most active stock today is DCTH, up 89%. DCTH. Let's look at that one. I am in FinViz. Let's move you back. Oh. DCTH. Let's see. We're going to move this back over here. Medical, healthcare. They're losing $37 million. They only have a market cap of $60 million, so they're losing half their company every year. FDA approval of Hepzato kit for treatment of adult patients with resectable hepatic dominant. I have no fucking clue. Jesus. This is kind of crazy. But yeah, their average price target is $16.40. But they haven't had a price target since July 22. And even before that, I mean, take that for what it's worth. Year to date is up 55%. But it's crazy. Let's go look at the price action. Yeah, I mean, that's you're exactly right, Christian. I mean, I can't deny, if a company is a good company, I'll invest in it. But it's almost hypocritical for me to say, yeah, I'm not going to do war machines because, sometimes, like Christian said, sometimes they point to people, sometimes they point to space. ONON is below 30. Still don't have confirmation on that one. Apple's down a bunch. Palantir's down a bunch. Tesla's going back to the 220s, I think. Rivian's going under 20. I think that's a $30 stock. Honest to God, I think Rivian's a $30 stock. Lyft is going up. Lyft is up a lot. Wow, 6%. I gotta go let the dogs out. Whoop, whoop. You Rivian losing everything. WLDS, I think I've seen this one before. Man. What is this one? Wearable devices. Okay. I am going to airdrop. Hold on. I'm going to go grab my MacBook. Hi, Daisy. I know she's going nuts. She's going crazy, Daisy. Oh, let's airdrop to this puppy. And then I can edit all this stuff and put it out for you guys. Boom, 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 boom. We're going to take those. Share. Airdrop. MacBook Pro. And close that down. Close that down. Did it get sent? Nope. I'm going to quit that. Let's see. We're going to take this and delete those. And then why is this not working now? Share. And we're going to airdrop. Oh, my airdrop isn't working. What the fuck? Let's see. Penny. Penny. Oh. Control center. on menu bar. Okay. Oh, there it is. We're going to do everyone. And then let's see. Share. Airdrop. And it's not letting me airdrop. Let me see. Did it put it on my desktop? I hate this. Nope. Didn't put it on my empty trash. Let's see. I'm gonna open up in Finder. I gotta restart. Okay, mofos. Yeah. Joe's our aeronautics specialty. What's that company? RDX or something? Which one? RX maybe? I forget which one had the engine recall. I don't know. RTX, that's it. That's it. Raytheon, yeah. RTX. I want to check. I actually think this one is in for a little bit more hurt, but I think it does come back up and fill that gap. The other one we had a gap on that I think it fills is Chegg. Let's see about this one. We're kind of just capitulating here after the earnings. At about $9.90. Okay, I'm out. I'll see you guys tomorrow.